IPA main goal is to mobilize African innovators and also African stakeholders so that we can build an African ecosystem whereas African innovators can create solutions for African problems.
We would like to create a kind of a virus, an innovation virus, so that a lot of people pick that up and start to innovate. The innovation side is nothing else than having an idea, believing very deeply, testing it with people, benchmarking it against others, not giving up, but continuously believe and believe and believe and fight for this idea.
The major gap between the developed and the developing countries, the haves and the have-nots, is knowledge and innovation. How much of technologies people are able to develop to solve their own problems will define the difference between countries.
We need to create African-led solutions for Africans on the continent, and I believe that the innovation part can really do that. That's the essence of the African Innovation Foundation.
The competition of IPA benefits innovators in Africa in many ways. It's basically positioning African innovators as the world-class innovators, but also being more positioned to solve issues that they know best.
We are looking for a project where the end result will have the maximum impact, social impact in Africa.
The innovation solves two problems. One is energy deficiency, and the other one is waste management. And this innovations comes in handy because it's compact and it's portable, and once you install it, it is connected to a soak pit. It is very, very hygienic. It does not smell, and the gas produced can be piped to the kitchen and used for cooking.
Le foufou mix, c'est une machine qui sert à faire le foufou. J'ai eu à faire un constat très tôt, très jeune, que la technique qu'on utilise jusqu'aujourd'hui pour faire le foufou est restée rudimentaire. J'ai inventé la machine avant de découvrir vraiment la portée de cette invention.
Substance abuse in workplace, in schools, in society is a major problem, of course. There's a lot of road fatalities because of alcohol abuse and drug abuse. So the Oculus system addresses these problems as a first-line screening tool. It checks how the pupil of the eye reacts to light by identifying pupils very accurately to the minutest detail, and based on the reaction to light, it can potentially diagnose diseases like diabetes, and of course it can detect substance abuse.
My equipment can reprocess dried cassava back to the flour and starch. That's the only equipment available at that level that can process dried cassava chips. Then for the processing women, this will allow them to produce high quality gari that is completely free of any toxin, high quality flour, as well as modified starch that is suitable for both food and industrial use.
We realized that any identification should start with a basic identification at base level, which is very challenging when you get to livestock. It's a difficult commodity to mark, and we developed a very unique way of identifying an animal, and then the ability to change it from owner to the next owner, and taking all the life data history with for disease control, for management, for identification and biosecurity, everything that belongs to livestock and livestock identification.
Winsenga is basically an electronic fetal heart rate monitor on a smartphone. It allows midwives and providers of antenatal care, or also midwives during labor, to monitor the baby's heart rate to be able to detect things like baseline fetal heart rate and variability of the fetus to figure out whether the fetus is in fetal distress.
The innovation that we've been selected for is Altus Osteogenic Bone Matrix. It's a product that incorporates both collagen as well as bone growth factors, which are used to regenerate traumas in the skeleton.
So our product addresses the need for a cost-effective, safe and highly biologically active bone graft substitute that can repair these defects without having to harvest bone from the patient's hip, which is a very painful and costly procedure.
La téléirrigation est un procédé technologique qui permet à un agriculteur, un maraîcher, de pouvoir piloter son exploitation maraîchère au moyen du téléphone portable, indépendamment du temps et de l'espace, avec possibilité de collecter en temps réel les données météorologiques et hydrologiques, à savoir la température, le taux d'humidité, la pluviométrie, la radiation solaire et la vitesse du vent.
The problems that this innovation will resolve are so many. The main one is alleviating waterlogging problems to enable farmers not only to increase the crop yield of the main crop, but also to be able to practice double cropping. Farmers can also store the excess water in a pond and use it later for irrigation. That means 3 times crop production in a year.
So the 10 that you are seeing here in Abuja, I consider all of them to be winners, because can you imagine, being selected out of over 700 applicants and being in the first 10? Clearly, you must have been very competitive to get to this stage.
Believe, continue and fight for your ideas, because what you have done is fantastic. The prize is just a piece of the next step you will have to go through. There is many obstacles, but continue, as I believe that this idea and this innovation you have is great and fantastic. Good luck for the next steps.